Hi everyone, I'm Alix Taylor. I'm the BFI Talent Executive here in the Southwest. A big warm welcome to this year's Lockdown Depict Watchalong. It's an opportunity for us to watch all the films together and get to know some of the talent behind them. Before we kick off, here's a little bit of background. So Depict is Watershed's international short film competition. It's part of Encounters Film Festival and it's delivered with a huge range of industry partners, BFI Network, BAFTA, Aardman, NFTS, Channel 4, and the Royal Photographic Society. Since 1998, we've been challenging filmmakers to create ultra-short 90-second masterpieces, which show originality and imagination are able to engage with audiences. This year we had over 1,360 submissions from over 80 different countries. It was an incredibly exciting and diverse range of films for us to whittle down from. Huge thank you to all the filmmakers that submitted their films, and congratulations to those who've been selected as part of this programme. Many hopefully are here watching along with us today. Inspired by the range of amazing work created by filmmakers during lockdown, alongside the main Depict competition, we decided to run this unique one-off lockdown competition. There are 19 films that are part of this programme that all filmed during COVID lockdown from across the globe. Many of the films were selected for in response to Short It Out, which was a call to action we did earlier this year in collaboration with BFI Network, Encounters Film Festival and Watershed, as well as industry partners including Channel 4, BAFTA and Aardman Animations. Don't forget as well, your vote counts towards the IMDb Pro Audience Award. So after this, if there's any films you really love, then please do head over to depict.org to vote for your favourite Depict films. You've got until Saturday the 3rd of September at 2:30, so make sure you get on that. Also, you can get involved, share, comment, let us know your reactions on Facebook Live, and for other socials you can use the Depict hashtag as well. Now, also a bit of a date for your diary. Following up after this, we've got the main Depict Watchalong, which is happening, and the award ceremony, which is on Saturday, 3rd of October at 2 p.m. So make sure that you come along to that and you'll see the main selection and find out firsthand who has won the audience award. Great. So we're going to watch the films now. So you should see each film, and in between there will be an introduction from the filmmaker. Great. Enjoy the films.
Hi, my name is Daisy Moore. I'm based in London and I'm here to introduce my film Antidote. I'm sorry if I talk really fast, I've got a lot to say. So what inspired my film, living with someone on the front line, and everyone clapping when they're on the front line, but what happens on the day-to-day when they come home and how do they process that? And I think it was a scary time, deciding to stay there. I felt like I was just kind of sit around and wait to get COVID whilst I dettle her as she comes through the door. And I think, it's ridiculous, but my mum was just like, you're like the Vera Lynn to the troops, which is ridiculous, but it was that kind of thing where you either laugh or you cry, and which one do you choose to do? We choose to do both. And what did I learn? If you've got an idea, do it now, because hopefully this time next year this film won't be relevant. Second, what allowed me to do it was learning Premiere Pro and stuff like that, and it's so powerful to have control over every aspect of the film, and going forward hopefully I'll be able to know the editor's side of it more. My next project is called 7 Bananas. I've actually been collaborating with so many amazing people on this, from the NFTS, and it's a much higher budget hybrid genre film. It was very, very challenging, but I'm really proud of it and I've learned a lot, so thank you.
She found out her ward was going to be a COVID ward, so we made the living room into a club.
The club! The club! What's the club?
Hey, what are you going to wear to the living room this weekend? It was a fun night. The PPE was downgraded and the staff got worried. So we propagated plants. Jars everywhere. They're doing pretty well. She had to tell a patient that their brother was dying in the ward next door, yet he couldn't visit. So we dressed up as pirates and did an Easter egg hunt.
Easter eggs!
I won, of course. Some of her colleagues got ill, so we learnt the dance to Fatboy Slim Praise You. But we had to postpone the Zoom performance because 2 of them died. She showed me a notebook. No, Daisy, you can't touch it, it's been on the ward. She'd written down all the people that she looked after and watched die, so there'd be names to her and not numbers. What activity do you suggest for that? I tried to come up with one, but I couldn't.
Hi, I'm Will Webb, based in the UK, here to introduce Art of Noise. I directed this film as part of Micro Short Films, a group of BFI Network BAFTA crew members who got together to make movies during lockdown and beyond. Our randomly allocated working group decided to tell a light story about communication, and because it had to be done as minimally as possible during the COVID lockdown, we told that story through letters. My main takeaway from this project is that collaboration is key. Art of Noise was a joint effort between a fab team, including Lucy the screenwriter, Taj the editor, Chris the composer, Howard the sound editor, and wonderful actors Jonathan and Philippa, provided by Shout Loud Casting. Each person in the team contributed something unique. In particular, Art of Noise, I think, really relies on the sound design and music, and that's something where I definitely have less experience. So it was a real pleasure to work with Howard and Chris and learn from them on this project. As for what's next, I'm beavering away at a couple of feature scripts, and I'm already hard at work on the next micro short with another group of randomly selected BFI Network BAFTA crew participants.
Dear number 7, regarding the loud noise emanating from your apartment, we are very worried. Yours in good faith, number 6.
Hey man, don't worry. Be cool. Just jamming. Paula.
Dear Paula, perhaps I have not been clear. Please, please refrain from practicing the guitar as the chaotic nature of the music is disturbing us. Yours sincerely, number 6.
Hi, my name is Charlie Watley. I'm a filmmaker from the UK, here to introduce my film Chronically Lockdown. My film talks about my experience with ME, which is a neurological disease. The illness affects millions of people around the world, and yet it's still incredibly poorly understood. Filmmaking comes with a lot of barriers when you're disabled, and something that this film taught me was that there's still a lot of power in telling a story with nothing but a simple camera and your own experience. Thank you so much for watching.
Since we were asked to stay indoors, I've had such empathy for people who have never experienced this before. I have ME, and when you spend days in bed or indoors, you can start to find frustration and familiarity. Circles of rituals, noticing the imperfection of the rooms you're in, that disappointment of what you can't do can take up all the space. It took months, years possibly, to adapt and accept this new compromise that I've been presented with. When your energy is fragile and precious, you still kind of need to use it for practical things. And sometimes I hold on to that as a negative feeling. But on better days, I feel grateful for those moments when I can use my energy for silliness. It gives me such a sense of freedom. And now I really realise that that feeling is actually a privilege, and so I treasure it so much more. Something that I've learned from being locked down by ME is to feel more comfortable in those moments of stillness. Feel the warmth of the sun, hear the silence, and to listen more carefully to that inner voice saying the simplest of pleasures like, how incredible it is to be alive.
Hi, my name is Gemma Rigg and I'm the director and animator for Colin 19. What inspired this story? So I have a comedy background and I've always been interested in trying to find a funny way to tell a story. And I guess I like the idea of closing in on the microbe itself and creating a character from that, and then coming up with just a silly reason, like what's he doing, like why is he doing this? And then I kind of like the idea about him kind of going around the world, like wanting to be some kind of travel blogger, like this innocent kind of 19-year-old taking a gap year or something. And I wanted to kind of make him quite likable, I suppose, as well. I think to laugh at something that scares us rather than be scared of something is kind of how I try and deal with things anyway. What's next for me and my team? Well, me and Colin, we thought about travelling around the world. We're going to go and see as many places.
Whoops. Sorry about all of this. It's all gone a bit out of hand, isn't it? I just wanted to travel. I've always fancied myself as one of them travel bloggers, you know, on YouTube. They always seem quite jolly. I thought it would be a nice way to see the world and all that. Anyway, I've seen it now, most of it. It's quite nice. I'm sorry about your Prime Minister. That wasn't me. It was my mate, Dave. Soz. I've got some advice for you. Stay indoors, look after each other, wash your hands. No, actually no, don't wash your hands because there's still some places in the world I haven't seen. I've always fancied Croydon as it happens. Yeah. Croydon.
Okay, what's your name?
Pamela, better boy. By profession, I'm a qualified district nurse.
So why are you dancing so much?
Because it's part of my exercise regime in lockdown. And it's to make me feel good and feel fit.
When did you first work as a nurse?
Oh, since I was 18 and now I'm pretty old now.
What year were you 18?
18.
Yeah, you shouldn't ask a woman their
I
age.
think asking a woman's age is a bit out of order. I'm an old girl.
What was the first hospital you worked in?
I was trained at St Mary's, Paddington.
Would you encourage people to keep dancing?
Yes, very much so. Keep you healthy and you keep your mind free and stress free from everything. And they keep you mobile also.
Hi, my name's Clemley Martin. I'm a London-based writer and I directed the short film Fever. So this was shot just before the UK went into lockdown, and it was a time when people were still very unsure as to what was going to happen, the scale of it, and they were kind of split between feeling more skeptical or more anxious. And so I was on the tube one day just watching people, and I noticed some people were wearing masks and had gloves, etc., and people on the other side of the carriage were kind of slyly eyeing them, thinking, what are you doing, like this is never going to get big, etc. So the film was kind of inspired by that, and also thoughts about what would happen to the whole world of dating and flirtation if we were all to isolate, etc. So yeah, and one thing I learnt is that, so it's a silent film, so I learnt kind of how much could be expressed through non-verbal communication, so gesture, eye play, the gaze, and that is definitely something I will take away for my next projects, that kind of exercise of stripping away dialogue to find more meaningful ways of communication. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the film. Please get in touch if you wish, and enjoy the festival.
The next station is Watchalong.
What's happening at the moment is a feeling that I don't want to get used to. It's like staring into a blank wall. Sometimes it moves around, but it's always there and nothing really changes. So you need to be happy. You have to use your creativity to actually do something fun. I do cooking, rollerblading and dancing. And I also love playing with my sisters. So when I do those things, I feel alive. I feel free. I can't think of anything else except for that. You need to be happy.
What was the hardest thing about being on the force? Well, there were the perks for a start. Villains with eyes so stone cold you'd get frostbite if you held their gaze too long. But they weren't the hardest part. It wasn't the existential loneliness, it wasn't being a woman in a man's world, it wasn't even the incessant jazz underscoring, which was fucking relentless, let me tell you. No, the hardest thing was me being a tape measure. I'm DCCM, Detective Constable Centimeter. After 20 years in the game, and a controversial dismissal that still gets the NYPD rumor mill buzzing like a bumblebee stuck on a buzzsaw, after all that, I'm coming out of retirement for my biggest job yet. 6 feet, 2 words, social distancing. And for this particular law enforcement challenge, I'm the only goddamn cop out there who's measuring up, if you catch my drift.
I'm Peter from Budapest, and my short film is Mission COVID-19. and I made it totally alone. And it's a new experience to filming yourself. So it's very hard to find the focus and the right position when you are in the back and in the front of the camera at the same time. So never try this at home.
Buzz is erecting the solar wind experiment now.
And we're getting a picture on the TV.
You got a good picture, huh?
There's a great deal of contrast in it, and currently it's upside down on our monitor, but we can make out a fair amount of detail.
Great.
I guess you're about the only person around that doesn't have TV coverage of the scene.
I can suggest exactly what the layer pictures showed when they pushed away a little bit. Okay, would you verify the position the opening I ought to have on the camera?
Stand by. F2, 1/160th second for shadow photography on the sequence camera.
Okay. Depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. Although the surface appears to be very fine-grained as you get close to it, it's almost like a powder. It's very fine. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. Thanks a lot.
Before it happened, he told me I may as well be living on the moon. You don't go out, you don't do things. Would you please just get laid? Now, he is marooned on his own moon. What do I do? He asked me. Float, I said. What else? Breathe, I said. What else? Be, I said. What if I don't like the moon? He asked. Not everyone does.
It's for time. Good. Happy birthday to you. You're not gonna get chocolate. To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy. Daddy. Call me back. Daddy. How's self-isolation going? We miss you.
Yeah, maybe that will help me. I'll get better soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye, we love you.
Bye.
Call me back. Call me back. Hey, Dad. Please call me when you get this. It's Mom.
Non c'è una parte d'Italia completamente immune al coronavirus, ha detto il presidente degli
has expanded its response to the coronavirus by locking down the entire country.
Italy faces growing isolation.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Barry Wilkinson, based in the southwest of England, and I'm here to introduce the short animated film Shopping Trip. I created Shopping Trip during the first week of lockdown in England, so that was the end of March, and it was finished by I think the 1st or 2nd of April. I really wanted to capture the feeling that was around at that moment. There was a lot of confusion, people were quite worried, quite nervous, and very insecure, and everybody was really, really anxious. And I really wanted to create a film that people could look back at in the future and have those memories and feelings evoked a little bit. I created the backgrounds in 3D based on areas around near where I live in the town of Portishead. They were just done from memory, but I'm quite pleased with them. They do look pretty good since I've been out and revisited those locations. The music and the sound were really, really important to the film, and a local composer called Matthew Walker, who's a good friend of mine from Subordio, he created the music, the score and the soundscape in the course of a few days. I think the thing that I've learned is if I have an idea for a film, it's a good idea to jump on it and get it moving, because I've done quite a lot of live action films in the past, and it's always quite tricky to just get out there and make them. You've just got to kind of jump on it and make it as best as you can, and yeah, it'll hopefully work out. For now, I'm going to continue making films for my clients, which is what I do for a day job as BW Film, and who knows what's coming up next. I might have a short film in the works, or 3 or 4.
I think that's recording. Hey, my name is Ben Marshall and I'm here in my garage in South London to introduce you to my film Stockholm Syndrome. At the start of lockdown, my friendship group began to set each other some really stupid challenges, mainly involving tea bags, skateboards and tech decks. And I just thought it was really funny how ridiculous it looked from our partner's perspective, whose work Zoom calls were getting interrupted by the sound of us idiots falling off our skateboards.
Ja, det är som en fingerskateboard för idioter.
But as lockdown went on, I wanted to set myself a different kind of challenge to see whether I could write, shoot and edit a short film before the official lockdown ended.
Mate, I finally got tray flips on lock on this thing.
My extremely patient girlfriend Molly offered her first time acting services for the role, and by that time in lockdown, playing a character plotting to kill me came a little bit too easy.
Mamma, det är inte det enklaste att facera en olycka under en global pandemi.
This whole experience was an amazing challenge because it forced me to work with the constraints of lockdown and get creative with what I had to hand.
Sweet, I'm gonna go get the ramp set up.
And so now I want to carry over some of the same enthusiasm that went into Stockholm Syndrome and make another short film as soon as possible. But this time bring on some other crew members so I don't go crazy watching colour grading tutorials until 3 AM. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed the film. Cheers.
Hej mamma. Ja, allt är bra här. Ursäkta om sändningen är lite dålig. Jag balanserar mobilen under kinden. Ja, han är ju frilans. Så när han inte faffar runt med sitt kamerakit som ligger utspritt över hela huset så håller han på med, vad det heter, tech-decks. Ja, det är som en fingerskateboard för idioter. Mamma, det är inte det enklaste att fasera en olycka under en global pandemi. Minns du Fredrik? Han ramlade genom isen på sjön. Och Viktor. Stackars Viktor. Man ska ju aldrig kampa med mat utanför tältet när man kampar i vargskogar. Och Isak. Och Leo. Och Peter. Och William. One sec. Hur som helst mamma. Jag måste gå nu. Okej. Hej hej. Hey you.
Hey.
How's it going?
Mate, I finally got tray flips on lock on this thing.
Oh great. Give me 2 minutes and I'll be up.
Sweet, I'm gonna go get the ramp set up.
Lights. Take one. Hello, my name is Flora Marta and I am based in the UK and I am here to introduce Together Fragmented. I was inspired to make this film during lockdown as a kind of initial reaction to what was going on. I didn't really know how else to respond other than make an animation. Something I learned from this experience, and also a tip, is that if you feel inspired to make something, just do it, if you can. I know that's easier said than done, but you never know who might see it or where it might end up. What's next for me is a couple more short films, though I can't really say anything more about them other than that, so I hope you enjoy this film and thank you for watching.
The experience of coronavirus lockdown is being called the new normal.
I have made new friends on the internet, which I never thought I would. So that's been exciting.
I'm still at work, I'm a healthcare worker, so I'm still going to work as normal, so that kind of keeps me going. I think if I didn't have work to go to, I would feel really trapped.
So I'm aware that we're in a kind of quite scared time, and I feel a lot of the kind of the tension and anxiety that a lot of people are feeling, and I think that's kind of, it's difficult sometimes to know how to act around that.
Just going to supermarkets is a big event, and self-isolating is what I do anyway.
Aquí te hablo del coronavirus. Facetas, miedo, principios, riesgo, familia.
At first it was weird not going around town, but I've got used to it now. I don't really want to go out much except for food shopping, exercise, etc. I miss the physical contact, not being able to hug friends and family, etc.
I've done some classes on Instagram Live, quite fun. It's propelled me into the world of being modern because I've actually got a smartphone. I've become an NHS volunteer, so I've got the smartphone app for that. It's a very windy day today, clouds galloping across the sky.
was me playing my banjo.
Hi, my name is Ozzy Pullin, based in London, UK, here to introduce my film, Who Is Your Everybody? The inspiration for the film came very spontaneously through various phone calls with loved ones, family members over lockdown, and just seeing that it wasn't just about the whole pandemic, what I was talking about, it was about general life. One thing I've learned from this whole experience is that we all need to talk more and communicate. It's the key to any good relationship, whether it be in life or work. The tip I'd like to pass on to other filmmakers is always trust your instincts, because you never know what's going to blossom from it. What's next for me is taking what I've learned from this and making sure I adopt it into my music videos, commercials, and other personal projects.
Now then. Oh, it's nice to see your face, Mooch.
You too.
What have you been up to today?
Doing a lot of this.
Yeah? Who have you been speaking to?
Mate, look at that beard.
Oh my god, what is that called again?
You're just looking in the mirror.
I just took a picture of myself.
Yeah.
I'm having a really bad day.
Yeah, it's weird. You wake up and you're sad. You put kettle on and you've got comfort through your cup of tea. Then you FaceTime and you got laughter. Then you watch a film and which draws a tear. And then you go back to bed and then you do it all over again.
We'll get through it. So how are you feeling?
I think I'm feeling okay.
The positives, trying to stick to the positives.
This is my positive thing. It's good to talk to you.
You too, as always.
Alright, I'll let you get off then, mate.
Right, alright, I'll go pick Carol then. See you soon.
Bye. Bye. Alright, speak soon.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Bye.